The first time they called her worthless, she didn't react. No anger. No humiliation. Not even a flicker of emotion. She just stood there, silent, still, and completely unreadable, as an entire hall of alien nobles laughed at her existence. And that's when I knew something was wrong. Not with them. With her. "You should be grateful," one of the nobles sneered, his elongated face twisting into something that passed for a smile. "A discarded war asset becoming a ceremonial bride? That's more than you deserve." More laughter followed. Cold, cruel, careless. She lowered her gaze slightly. Not submissive. Measured. Controlled. Like she was choosing not to react, rather than unable to. I tightened my fist. I wasn't supposed to be there. Just a human envoy. A witness. A symbolic presence after the treaty between humanity and the Zarvith Dominion. We weren't equals. Not even close. But we were useful. And today? We were here to watch a political marriage. A useless one. At least, that's what everyone believed. My name is Kale Rin. Former soldier. Current diplomat. And the only person in that entire chamber who realized the truth too late. That the worthless bride standing before them was the most dangerous being in the room. The bride. Her name was Veilira. At least, that's what the record said. Species, Zarvith. Rank, former war-class operative. Status, decommissioned. That last part? That was the lie. The Zarvith didn't decommission warriors. They erased them. Completely. No ceremony. No reassignment. No second chances. So why was she here? Dressed in ceremonial armor disguised as bridal attire. Offered as part of a political alliance. Because she had failed. Or at least, that's what they wanted everyone to believe. The groom. Standing across from her was Lord Threxon. Powerful. Ambitious. Cruel. He didn't even try to hide his disgust. "This is what you send me?" he said, looking at her like she was beneath him. "A broken weapon?" "She is suitable," one of the elders replied. Threxon laughed. "I asked for strength. You gave me scrap." Oh. She didn't react. That's when I started paying attention. The first sign. Most warriors, human or alien, have tells. Small things. Tension in the shoulders. A shift in breathing. A tightening of the jaw. She had none. Not because she was calm, but because she was empty. No, not empty. Controlled. Like every movement was calculated. Every breath measured. Every reaction suppressed. And that kind of control doesn't come from weakness. It comes from experience. The ceremony. The ritual began. Ancient. Formal. Binding. The two were brought together. Hands extended. Energy patterns forming between them. A bond. Political. Symbolic. And completely meaningless. Because something about this felt wrong. Not politically. Not socially. Instinctively. Like I was watching a trap being set. But couldn't see the trigger. The whisper. As they stood there. Just before the final binding. She moved. Not visibly. Not enough for anyone else to notice. But I saw it. Her eyes shifted. For just a second. They met mine. And in that moment, everything changed. Because there was no emptiness there. No submission. No weakness. Just one thing. Awareness. And something else. A warning. The attack. It happened too fast. The doors exploded inward. Energy blasts tore through the chamber. Guards reacted. Nobles screamed. Chaos erupted. Assassins. Not human. Not Zarvith. Something else. Fast. Efficient. Deadly. Their target? The council. The entire ruling body of the Zarvith Dominion. This wasn't an attack. It was an execution. The moment everything changed. The guards moved first. Then the warriors. Then the chaos took over. And in the middle of it all, she finally moved. Not like a bride. Not like a victim. Like a weapon. The truth revealed. The first assassin didn't even see her coming. One moment, he was advancing. The next, he wasn't. Gone. Neutralized. No wasted motion. No hesitation. Just precision. The second attacker turned. Too late. She was already behind him. Silent. Invisible. Unstoppable. I stared. Frozen. She's not decommissioned, I whispered. No. She was something else entirely. Middle, the deadliest in the galaxy. The room became a battlefield. But not for long. Because wherever she moved, the fight ended. Assassins fell one by one. Not to numbers. Not to brute force. To her. Alone. The efficiency of death. She didn't fight like anyone I'd ever seen. No wasted energy. No emotional reaction. No hesitation. Every strike had purpose. Every movement had intent. It wasn't combat. It was execution. The realization. She's not just trained, I muttered. She's designed. That's when it hit me. She wasn't a failed warrior. She was the final version. The one they couldn't control anymore. Why she was worthless? Because she didn't follow orders. Not blindly. Not completely. She adapted. She thought. She chose. And in an empire built on obedience. That made her dangerous. The last assassin. Only one remained. Bigger. Stronger. Different. He faced her directly. For the first time. She paused. Not out of fear. Recognition. The hidden enemy. This was never about the council, I realized. It was about her. The assassins weren't here to kill the leaders. They were here to test. Or eliminate her. The final fight. They clashed. And for the first time, the fight wasn't one-sided. Blow for blow. Movement for movement. Two perfect weapons. Colliding. The room held its breath. Because this wasn't just a fight. It was proof. Of what she really was. Ending the choice. She won. Of course she did. But not easily. And when it was over, silence fell. All eyes turned to her. Not as a bride. Not as a failure. But as something else. Something far more dangerous. The aftermath. She is not to be bound, one of the elders said. Too late. Because she was already free. Not physically. But in a way that mattered more. Final ending, extended for retention. I found her later. Standing alone. Looking out into space. They were never meant to marry you off, I said. No, she replied. They wanted you dead. Yes. I stepped closer. Why didn't you leave? She looked at me. And for the first time, there was something human in her expression. Because, she said softly, I wanted to choose my own ending. Silence. You could still leave, I said. She turned back to the stars. No, she said. Why? Because now. She paused. They know what I am. I felt it then. Not fear. Not danger. Something else. A shift. In power. In balance. In the future. What are you going to do? I asked. She smiled. Just slightly. And it was the most dangerous thing I had seen all day. What I was created for, she said. And what's that? She looked at me. To end wars. A chill ran down my spine. Because I finally understood. She wasn't the bride. She wasn't the weapon. She wasn't even the threat. She was the solution. And solutions like her don't negotiate. They finish things.